The next piece of Deviate research I did was about the verbatim and how they go about that within their creative process. Now, Deviate believe in funding lengthy research periods and development periods to collect information and inspiration for material and their creative process. I think this is really interesting because they don't mind taking a long time to collect verbatim because it makes it more textured. It gives them more layers to work with. It gives them more ideas and inspiration to work with. From this, I took that I know how important research is when playing a part and in the creative approach. For me, I know that when I'm given a character, the more research you do, the more you understand that character, the more naturalistic it becomes to you as a performer. So I wanted to implement this into my own work, making sure that any research I did wasn't just sort of the first layer of research. I could then go deeper and give justification as to why this research affected my work so greatly. It's clearly important to collect as much information and research as possible because, as Deviate describe it, it is maintaining rigorous artistic and integral quality, which means that the more you do it, it's integral to the part. It's more, the quality is better, and like I said earlier, you get more texture to your piece and more understanding instead of just being sort of this body on stage, this character on stage reading lines that don't really make sense or aren't really linked to you. But once you've done this research, that all becomes embedded in what you're doing. The next part I focused on was how does this inform my practical work? So I decided I'm going to undergo more research based around my verbatim topic, which is social media, and my transcript to gain more context and understanding. I don't want to end up making a piece that I don't understand and doesn't have any meaning to it. There's statistics out there and facts that can back up this piece of verbatim that will make the piece really strong, especially in the movement. If we're all understanding on stage exactly what we're doing and why, and it has intention, then that research has been, backed up. What my interviewer was thinking is important to me, that thought process. So the more I dig into this social media research, the more texture I am going to get. And in terms of the practical work, the physical theatre is based and follows a thought process. And based on the research I do, this might affect the way that we move on the stage. I could come up with this complete piece of choreographed physical theatre and then do some more research and find that actually that move doesn't mean this. It now means this to me because, we've got this new piece of information. So it could reflect a new mindset and to the audience as well. The research and practice, I had a discussion with two members of my company about how research has how they've implemented their research into their process and their creative process for their segments of our piece and how that was important to their movement. So I will put that video next to this one. And the further research that I want to do, I think is going to be based on Deviate approaches and sort of in their movement and in their creative process, the different approaches they might take.